Beware the invisible barbarian. The popular image of the fall of Rome is one of external military defeat and political corruption. While these factors played a role, a far more insidious force eroded the empire from within: the destruction of its own currency. This economic collapse offers vital, recurring lessons for all modern financial systems. The rise and ruin of the denarius. For centuries, the Roman economy was anchored by the silver denarius. First minted around 211 BCE, this coin was nearly pure silver, serving as the bedrock of trade, taxation, and military pay across the vast empire. The value of the denarius wasn't just metal. It was a physical embodiment of confidence in Roman power. However, the costs of maintaining the empire, paying legions, building public works, and financing constant wars eventually outpaced tax revenue. By the 2nd century CE, emperors faced a dilemma: either unpopular, direct taxes, or a more subtle form of extraction known as debasement. They chose the latter, secretly reducing the silver content of the denarius. The numbers reveal the dramatic decline. Emperor Augustus, early empire. The denarius was approximately 95% silver. Emperor Caracalla, early 3rd century. Silver content dropped to around 50%. Emperor Gallienus, mid-3rd century. The coin contained less than 5% silver, essentially becoming a bronze disc with a silver wash. The inflationary spiral and societal breakdown. This debasement triggered rampant inflation. As the currency's anchor to real value dissolved, prices soared. A measure of wheat that once cost a single denarius might suddenly cost dozens. This wasn't abstract economic theory. It directly destroyed the savings and livelihoods of ordinary citizens. Their hard-earned cash, meant and stored for future use, now bought far less than before. Savings evaporated into the rising tide of prices. This personal catastrophe on a mass scale undermined the social order. People who had been taxpayers, merchants, or investors now found themselves in desperate straits. The same process that hollows out a person's life savings also erodes a nation's prosperity. As the currency's value sinks, exports become dirt cheap. The economy appears to boom, but this is false prosperity built on sand. What fuels this descent? Is it mere greed or incompetence on the part of rulers? Or is there a more systematic cause? The answer lies in understanding the invisible force that ultimately determines a society: fate, the nature of money itself. And with that, we have an incredible quote from author Nassim Nicholas Taleb that reads, "The most dangerous creation of any society is the type of person that neither contributes nor pays taxes." Join me today as we explore the concept of invisible barbarians in ancient Rome, the impact of the denarius devaluation on Roman society, and how the collapse of Rome's currency foreshadows modern economic challenges. We will also examine how individuals can prepare for economic uncertainties by investing in real assets. Let's begin our journey back in time to ancient Rome. The picture of Rome's demise as a victim of outside forces is enticing. It suggests that internal decay was not so relevant. But this perspective is flawed. Yes, external pressures contributed to Rome's end, but the fatal blow came from within. To understand this, let's examine Rome's economic backbone, the denarius. Initially, the denarius was more than just a piece of metal. It symbolized Roman strength and reliability. Rome's commitment to its currency was unwavering. If you held a Roman denarius, you knew you possessed real value. This changed during the crisis of the 3rd century when a series of weak emperors led to instability. Rome struggled to keep up with expenses, including paying its army and managing its huge territory. Taxes weren't enough to cover these costs, so emperors resorted to lowering the silver content in coins without telling anyone. This sneaky way of getting more money was appealing, especially for later rulers who were constantly fighting. It allowed them to keep up appearances, maintain the size of the army, and save face. The idea was to carry on as usual while secretly shaving off some silver. But this move had dire consequences. After years of tampering with the coin's purity, people realized they were getting cheated. Trust in Rome's money vanished. Debasing the denarius pushed Rome towards disaster. Here's why. Imagine you have $10, you can buy groceries or pay bills. Now imagine your $10 buys half as much because the government has secretly cut the value of each bill in half. That's exactly what happened in Rome. People saw the value of their hard-earned denarii plunge. What was worse, they couldn't predict when their money would lose value. This uncertainty created chaos. Merchants refused to accept denarii, making trade difficult. People hoarded food and other necessities. When they could, they stopped lending money since nobody knew how much it would be worth in the future. The Roman economy suffered greatly. With trade disrupted and people holding on to their money, the economy ground to a halt. This had far-reaching effects. Paying soldiers became a major problem. Rome depended on taxes to support its army. But as the denarius declined, it took more and more money to pay troops. This put pressure on the treasury, and officials started taking more drastic measures to cut costs. The consequences were disastrous. Soldiers grew unhappy with their smaller paychecks. They couldn't afford basic supplies or send money home. Soon, entire units deserted, leaving Rome vulnerable. To defend its borders, Emperor Caracalla decided to increase soldier pay by raising taxes. But he didn't want to burden the public. So instead, he lowered the silver content of the denarius even further, making it harder and harder to tell the difference between counterfeit and real coins. This step, however, had unintended consequences. People quickly realized that the government was manipulating the currency. The situation got worse when Emperor Elagabalus continued his father's policy. He kept devaluing the denarius, but his mother, Julia Misa, reversed the trend when she took control after his death. She revalued the currency, increasing its silver content. These shifts in value confused people and made it challenging to do business. The story of the denarius illustrates a broader truth about money. Its value is deeply ingrained in our trust in the issuing authority. When Rome tampered with the denarius, it broke this trust, leading to widespread distrust in their currency. This lack of confidence affected not just Rome's economy, but also its entire social fabric. People stopped trusting each other, and that eroded the foundations of the empire. The moral of the story? Money is more than pieces of metal or paper. It's a reflection of a society's trust and confidence. When that trust is broken, the consequences can be devastating. The Roman crisis serves as a beacon, guiding us through the complexities of our own financial system today. As we navigate the intricacies of modern currencies, it's crucial to remember the lessons of Rome. Just as the denarius once stood as a symbol of Roman power, our contemporary currencies mirror the strength and stability of our respective nations. When those symbols of trust are compromised, whether through deliberate manipulation or systemic errors, the repercussions can be as profound as they were in ancient Rome. Therefore, it's essential to stay vigilant, fostering a deep understanding of our financial systems and encouraging transparency from our leaders. After all, the fate of empires, ancient or modern, often hinges on the subtle shifts in the world of finance. The question is, will we heed the lessons of history, or are we destined to repeat it? In addition to staying informed, individuals can take proactive steps to safeguard their financial well-being. One effective strategy is to diversify investments by allocating a portion of one's portfolio to tangible assets, such as real estate, precious metals, or commodities. These assets tend to retain value during economic downturns and have historically outperformed fiat currencies in the long run. Moreover, developing a skill set that is both valuable and in demand can provide a hedge against currency devaluation. Investing in oneself through education and training ensures that one's earning potential is not solely reliant on the fluctuating value of a fiat currency. Finally, cultivating a mindset of financial prudence and self-reliance is essential. This includes living within one's means, saving a portion of income, and preparing for unexpected expenses. By adopting such practices, individuals can mitigate the risks associated with currency devaluation and build a more secure financial future for themselves. As we conclude our exploration of the fall of ancient Rome, let us not only remember the grandeur of its achievements, but also the valuable lessons embedded in its decline. The tale of the debased denarius should serve as a reminder of the pivotal role that currency plays in the very fabric of society. It is a testament to the fact that the vitality of an economy, the confidence in its currency, and the trust in its leadership are intricately intertwined. In the same way that the gradual devaluation of the denarius contributed to the downfall of the Roman Empire, we must remain vigilant against any form of economic manipulation or fiscal irresponsibility in our own times. As we navigate the complexities of our global financial system, may we draw wisdom from the past and ensure that the lessons learned on the banks of the Tiber River resonate through the corridors of our modern financial institutions. Let us strive to uphold the integrity of our currencies, safeguard the trust that sustains our economies, and work towards a future where the value of money mirrors the strength and stability of the societies it represents.